We're gonna do a song that you never heard before.
Hear the drummer get wicked. Here we go again. Ace Kennedy, my brother from another mother. What's happening with you, man?
We back.
We back, man. We back. We've been having a lot of stuff going on here lately, though, man. A lot of stuff
And
going on.
That's what happened, man. That's adulting life, bro.
Yeah,
You know
yeah. Adulting in for real life, though, man.
Yeah. So before we drop the music. First of all, I got a story to tell you.
What's
Second, let's what was the reason why we couldn't pod? Or from your side of the story.
I think that the reason why we couldn't pod this last couple of times, man, we had our season ended. You know, Lennon had been playing rec ball for the last couple of months or whatnot, though, man. We got out there and got whipped in the playoff. We won one on one of the days that we had the pod, and then the second time we did it, we wound up losing in our last playoff game. That was it, though, man. What about you?
Well, for me, bro, it is one of those things. For me, Deuce was finishing up his season, and I'm blessed to be able to go and watch him play. So obviously, I had to be in the building trying to get as much footage as possible so I can get him to his forever school, or whatever you want to call it. And so now just was on that dad life.
Let me ask you though, this is just year one. He's transferring to like a forever, or is he gonna do 2 years there?
Well, it's a JUCO, so
Yeah.
I don't know what his plans are yet. We haven't. We kind of talked a little bit about it. I think he's just going to weigh his options. He feels comfortable enough within the college system that he feels like he could, play D1, D2, or NAIA at a higher level. So I think that he just got to get in the gym this summer and obviously get a little bit bigger and continue to work the skills, but what I'm enjoying about watching him play is he looks like the high school Deuce in college, and so I think that's what's dope for me.
Yeah, that's all good, man.
Yeah. So the story before we get the music going, got a phone call today, and the lady says, "Yeah, we're trying to reach you about 312 Meyer Lane in Edmond. We're trying to, we're buying properties, whoop de whoop de whoop." And I'm like, "Sorry, I'm not the owner of that property." It's like, "Do we have the right property?" Like, couldn't tell you, not the owner of the property. It's like, well, why we got you on the phone? Is there a property that you're interested in selling? Yeah, I do. As a matter of fact, I do. I own the Chesapeake Arena. Oh, you own the Chesapeake Arena? Okay, well, are you looking to sell? Yeah. So they was like, "Can we get the address?" So I Googled the address, give them the address, and I see on there the construction count was like 89 million or whatever the case. But so she's like, "Well, what are you looking to sell?" I was like, 93 million. She was like, "Oh, 93 million?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Well, you have a great day." All right, thanks.
Dealing with the solicitors, huh?
Hey, that's the second one. Like now, I look forward to their calls, bro. I be looking for. So this one dude called me. He called me in Target, and he said, "Yo, can I speak to John?" I was like, "I'm sorry, you had the wrong number." He was like, "Well, since I have you on the phone, we would like to." I said, "Hold on. Who did you call for?" He's like, "Well, whoever answers the phone." No. Who did you ask for? Oh, ask for John. Did you reach John? He's like, "No, I didn't." Well, then your phone call is over.
Listen, on the cool, having worked at West, bro, I try to be somewhat sympathetic to tell them, like, I don't go there at first, right? I'll try to be like, okay, I understand somebody's just doing their job, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that. But here's my thing. I don't have an issue with somebody calling that's just doing their job. But when your new tactic is just to get somebody on the phone, like that's their new thing, to ask for somebody different, and then wait till you on the phone and be like, well, since I got you on the phone, no. You called and asked for me, I'll give you the polite, give you the 3 rebuttals, because I know you got to get 3. And
Gotta
we
get
we
3
going
rebuttals though, bro.
yeah, we going about our day. I respect it. But when you call and ask for somebody different, nah. But if I got time to play with you, we gonna play. Like, you at work, I'm at work. Especially when I tell you I'm at work and you don't respect that I'm at work, then nah.
I only go there. I only go there through the text messages that I'll get. When I'll get some of those, for some reason though, bro, I get these text messages that are very pro-Trump on text messages, where they're like, so and so said they're gonna do this, and we need Donald Trump, so we need to get his support. Can we count on you for your support? I reply back, hell to the no. You can't count on my damn support for this one, though. I said, what? I said, y'all apparently got the wrong phone number.
Yeah, y'all missed out on the boat. Like, I ain't with the Trump pansies, bro. All right, man, let's get this music cracking.
Let's get the music on, bro. I was almost about to ask you something about that, but
The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. What your name is. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
Yep. Try Jesus, not me, 'cause I throw hands. Try Jesus, please don't try me, because I'm fine.
Yo, so I had a good laugh because that boy Toby has another song that didn't go nearly as big, but it's still as far as like viral moments on the Tragedies. He got this one that's Unfollow Me that I absolutely love though, bro. It's hilarious though.
That's what's up. You said you was about to ask me something before we started.
Oh, I was almost. So listen, so it's funny. I was about to ask you. So we were talking. No, I'm gonna save that for a whole other day, right? It was some politics and everything like that, and I think that it's been kind of interesting because I saw this one. I would have. Okay, so there was recently a court hearing or something like that. I'm not sure. I didn't see the details, but one of the things that it basically in a particular court in New York, they mandated or ordered Trump Jr. and his daughter to all appear in court. And I'm assuming that they go, kind of do their whole thing about not appearing or whatever it is, though, necessarily though. But I thought that was kind of interesting though, man, that they were actually subpoenaed to come to court. And I got to figure out exactly what it was, but I saw that very subtly though. And because it wasn't made a big deal on national media, that was the reason why it caught my eye. I was like, why ain't nobody talking about this? So, but we've been gone for a minute, but we back with the jump off. We got some things to talk about, though, bro. First
what
off,
you think about the Super Bowl? Go ahead.
No, Super Bowl. You right where I'm at. Loved it. Absolutely loved the game. I thought the game was the one thing is that I'm not big on games that are blowouts. But the Super Bowl had a lot of layers. I love that one of the players on the Bengals, Eli Apple, he played for the Saints before. And let me tell you, when he played for the Saints, was not a big fan of it. I would always tell you all the time, I was like, Ace, in our secondary, we are prone to get beat on deep balls or beat, and he was one of those. So I laughed when he was there, and he was out there like talking big on social media to like a couple of other players and everything like that. I think he has some words for like the Kansas City Chiefs wide receivers and everything like that. Like, yo, I can get y'all some Super Bowl tickets to come watch this game since y'all ain't out here. And then for him to give up the 2 touchdowns, I mean, it was, and they were dragging him on Twitter, though. And I don't even get on Twitter like that, but I got on Twitter just to watch that, though. It was hilarious. But overall, the game, top notch, bro.
Well, I would say the Super Bowl, everything about it, I was thoroughly entertained. The Super Bowl, the commercials, the halftime show, like I was thoroughly entertained. Like I enjoyed myself Super Bowl Sunday.
I did. So, you know, what's funny you say that about the commercials, because to be quite honest with you, I didn't think that they were all like next level, like they weren't like some of the other Super Bowl commercials. I saw one commercial that I thought maybe 2, but I didn't see the one that just said, "Oh, that was like a great." It just seemed like they were regular to me.
See,
what was your favorite one?
My favorite one probably was the Austin Powers joint. I really did enjoy that one. I enjoyed the one where the dog was chasing after the car and then the battery died at the end. I thought that was dope. I loved the Pixel 6 commercial. That one was super dope. I mean, I really enjoyed, like, I enjoyed the commercials, bro. Like, I know a lot of people that just was like, the commercials was trash. I'm like, I had a great Super Bowl Sunday as far as like just the event.
What did you do for Super Bowl? What did you do?
Bro,
You go to a party, or you just was at the crib, or what?
No, I was at the crib. My brother-in-law had did me some ribs. So I woke up at 4:50 and he was like, yo, they about ready. So I was like, dang. So I had to jump in the whip, drive all the way over across town to get them. So I had, I got YouTube TV. So I was kind of peeping everything on the phone at 5:30, and then got back, cooked some nachos, and just chilled out on the couch. The girl Charlie was asleep for almost the whole Super Bowl. Sarah was tutoring, and then she came out and after the halftime show, and yeah, it was just, I don't know, man. I just enjoyed myself, and I had a good time just chilling by myself, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this though, man. Let's get to it though, bro. Halftime show. Amazing. I thought it was the best one ever, personally. Best one.
I don't know if the best one ever.
I'm going to tell you this. So about this. There are three halftime shows that I thought that I would say these are my top 3. This one, Beyonce, and the one with Prince. Now, I think personally, because I'm a hip hop guy, I like this one a tad bit better. Oh, and the Bruno Mars was fire too. See, by the way,
don't be trying to take my answer, because that's where I was going with it.
Yeah.
Bruno was my joint.
So, but I think for me, yeah, for what I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to let you jump in there, and I'll get back to it. But mine, so I do put this one as the best one of all time.
Okay.
And I do think it's better than Prince. And I do think it's a hair better than that's hard for me to get it on out. It's hard for me to get it on out. But I would mark, oh my God. Yeah, well, I'm gonna I don't want to be a prisoner of the moment, right?
That's what you sound like.
I don't want to sound like a complete prisoner. I'm just gonna say that, yeah,
it was not the best one of all times for me. Like I said, the Bruno Mars one was up there for me. It's hard for me to put it past MJ. I've seen some great shows. Even the controversial Janet Jackson, Justin Timberlake show.
That was fire too. It was fire up until that point.
I mean, it didn't lose its credibility.
That didn't. I remember you calling me. Listen, I remember when that happened. You calling me. You was like, "Did you just see that, bro? Did you just see that, bro?" I remember that.
Listen,
that's one of the things I remember about that moment, though.
Yeah, But all I'm saying is, even though that was a moment, that in particular was a moment, it still didn't take away that was a great show. So I think for the culture, I thought it was good. But I'm just saying it's not the best one I've ever seen. I thought it was great. I thought it, of course. Here's my thing, right? Of course, you knew it was definitely better, 112% better than what's my boy from last year?
The Weeknd.
Weeknd. It was way better than that one. Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, it was good. It was, of course, when you know all the songs, and you know what, probably one of my favorite parts of it was when the girl Mary J. Blige fell backwards. I thought that was dope. Like, I'm not big on Mary J. Blige as a live performer. I'm not, but I respect everything Mary J is doing right now. Her part on Power, what she did there. She got the Breakfast Club interview. She got a new album that dropped, and she's working on a new album with Dre. Like, yeah, man.
That girl Monet working, girl. That girl Monet Tejada is working, bro.
Working,
Listen,
bro.
I'm gonna tell you what I like about it. So to me, this is the thing about it. To me, what I loved about it, it had the moments like Beyonce, right? But I'm completely biased I'm admittedly very biased when it comes to Beyonce, right? But I think that because it was basically primarily hip hop Super Bowl, I thought that it was very tastefully done with the same moments. I think that it had the pageantry that you typically would associate with Super Bowl performances and everything like that. And I think that what I enjoyed about it was almost like the same kind of variety. The other Super Bowl I thought that was low key underrated was the one where Missy came out there and did hers with that. I thought that one had the kind of variety, but I thought that for it to really be like a hip hop halftime show, I thought that it was so tastefully done, and I thought that it was a good representation of the culture as someone our age would see it, right? Like, I think that they all did songs like when they were doing the songs for Chronic 2000. I remember being in City Lights when that came out, right? I remember exactly where I was when Eminem came out with Lose Yourself. I put Lose Yourself on. It's on my workout playlist. I listen to it almost every other day. I listen to the song. So for me, it was like, okay. And then 50, they comes out with In the Club, and I'm like, all right, yeah, he officially has every single song that they play that I know every single word to. And so while there were other songs that, you would have wanted to see them do or could have done, I thought that the selections, you got a small window to do it though, man. But I thought for the amount of time that they had and for the stage and all of the extraness that makes it a Super Bowl performance, I thought that it was, it's probably, I might just put it just a hair, splitting hairs above Beyonce. But that's, like I said, that prisoner of the moment.
I think too, I like the experience that the halftime show had. Like, the Pepsi halftime show app was available where you got to 3D and see everything behind the scenes while it was going on. I thought that was super dope. So
some people, like the research department is yelling in my ear, thought that they wished that Mary would have performed other songs, right? But I think that the reason why that she picked these particular songs is, for one, that it was a Super Bowl show produced by Dre. So she did a song that was produced by Dre. And then the other song, to me, the No More Tears, was of the same tempo. So it was an easy transition. If you were like a DJ and you were EQing that thing, you could slide it on over. So there were like I said, weren't the best Mary J songs, but I think it fit what they were actually doing, though, man. Putting on for the West Coast, though.
It didn't matter what they did. Like, I thought the song selection was fine. I thought it was enough to, like, be, I know Snoop is on tour right now, so it was enough to be like, okay, yeah, these boys is out here getting it. And the fact that Dre and them got new music out right now, and streaming goes up after stuff like that.
Snoop Dogg's always on tour. Like, so this is the one thing that is interesting to me is that Snoop Dogg said, right? Snoop Dogg said that which is okay. There's so many, so there are so many layers to this, right? That we can go because Snoop Dogg, he had previously mentioned that he never got royalty checks from any of his music. He used to only get paid off of his performances. Well, I'm wondering now. He bought the catalog, bought Death Row. So and put out an album, which by the way sounds very much how I thought it would have sounded. It's dope, smooth album to listen to, man, all the way through. My dude Courtney told me about it. He said, "Yo, the Snoop Dogg is cold." So I went through and listened to it. I was like, "Yeah, very dope album." But I think that the thing that I was just kind of curious on that was just the Snoop Dogg, like Snoop Dogg to me is so hip hop and he's so LA. And so it's like, yeah, like it everything about it made sense to me though, bro.
Yeah, it made sense. It made sense for the environment. It made sense for, the timing. Everything made sense, but it just still, it was great. It was good, but it wasn't the best one that I've seen.
I got a question for you though.
What's up?
All right. So do you take any issue? 50 was looking a little fluffy.
He didn't look fluffy to me.
You didn't think 50 looked fluffy to you?
Not at all. 50 was yoked. 50 was big. Like to me, it looked like he's either preparing for a role or he's just getting bigger. Like, see, this is the difference to me, right? I look at 50 and then I look at when Buster was big. Buster was big. Buster had a gut. 50 didn't have a gut. 50 was just big. So no, I didn't have an issue with it at all.
50 looked like he was listen. Okay, so this is where I think that people are getting mixed up at. So okay, so I think that 50, because people naturally compare 50 to the Get Rich or Die Trying album cover, but that's when 50 was a young 20-some-year-old 50, and that's when 50 he looked like he was maybe 205, right? 205. Then even when you saw him in Power, he still looked like he was about 225 then, about 20 pounds bigger. But that to me was when he was just bigger, a bigger dude. This time around though, nah, bro, 50 is fluffy on there though, bro. And he is, I thought 50 face, his head looks twice the size it was. And don't get me wrong, his arms were big and he was bigger overall.
And that's what I'm saying. When you look at Buster, when Buster got big, Buster had a gut along with his big body. 50 didn't have that. 50
I
was
agree.
big.
Buster, see, I think that I think Buster maybe a little taller than 50 was, but I agree. But both are at least 6'1". Let's put it like that, right? I think the thing that to me though, bro, is that Buster was almost 300 pounds big. 50 ain't that big. Like Buster used to be yoked and then he got sloppy to me, right? But 50 didn't get that, but 50 gotta be at least 250 now, bro. Like he fluffy though, bro. Like I'm just saying, like, yo, but I kind of, so this is where I was going with that though, right? But people have been talking about this on social media real heavy. They called him fluffy scent, thicky scent, all these other stuff. So
I see people saying he's $1 now.
Yeah, so listen, is there any issue with fat shaming 50 Cent?
No, because he wasn't fat. That's why I'm about to pull up the picture right now, bro.
Pull the picture up though.
Pull
the picture up. Okay,
y'all ain't
pull the
be
picture of 50 up, and then pull the picture of 50 up for when he was on Get Rich, bro.
So you trying to tell me he fat right there? That's what you saying? That's all muscle. That's buff. What are you talking about?
That boy, listen.
Yes, he's bigger than what he was. Like you said, if Get Rich or Die Trying, that dude is big. He's bigger because he's buff. Y'all need to stop, bro. Look at his arms, bro.
Yo, he is like, listen, bro. That man is, listen, that looks to me, that looks like about 250. That might even be 260, bro.
So what? But I'm saying he don't have a gut. He is clearly bigger. He looks like a football player. So
I think, you know what? So here's the thing. I think, okay. Brittany Rowe got a point here. When he was upside down, bro, that boy looked like he looked hella big. Like, listen, this is what's funny. What I think was the issue, dude, is that when he was upside down, it's like all the extra weight in his face flopped down. So he looked his head looked humongous, bro.
Okay,
That
but
man had like a Barry Bonds head, dog.
because he was upside down. Exactly what you said.
Listen,
He was upside down. So
I don't, but
again,
I'm gonna be
he
honest though. Even though he's getting fat, even though people are fat
he ain't
shaming
getting
him, right?
fat.
But
He's
listen,
big.
but I don't even if people called him fat, right? Let's just say that people called him fat. Whatever it is, they call him husky, all of those things. I think to me, it's warranted with 50 Cent. And whether or not you think he's fat or not, right? I think that what I'm saying is that 50 Cent came out of the gate and he's always been about fat shaming. I don't think, listen, I always have like, this is my thing. I don't have an issue as much as some people have when they say somebody is fat shaming. I think that I actually cringe at the phrase fat shaming. So I won't say it no more. Calling somebody fat, right? Somebody picked up weight. So my thing is that 50 did that right out the gate, right? First song he had on How to Rob. First song I've ever heard from 50, he was talking about Missy being fat, right? On that song. And he said a line about Missy being fat. When he came out on Get Rich, and then he was talking about Irv Gotti being fat, right? So he's had a resume of him calling somebody fat. So my thing is that, when it comes down to it, like if people want to say, all right, well, listen, you to put on a few pounds yourself, what you got to say, I don't have a problem with that, though,
Right.
bro.
But you can say that, but people are stupid though, because the thing is that at the end of the day, dog, he's not fat. He doesn't have a gut. His pecs are clearly bigger. His arms are clearly bigger. His body is proportionate. He's just bigger. So that doesn't make him fat because he's bigger. That's where I'm like, people are stupid. They just trying to find something. They trying to find anything. And like you said, when he was upside down, even still, like I've seen the memes where they have Bazaar hanging upside down.
Oh my God! And listen, the side by sides, they're impeccable. Like it
Yeah.
looks accurate, bro. Like I'm not gonna act like I'm not gonna act like it was nothing.
Charles, there's a thing called Photoshop that I'm sure you're aware of, and there's many people that have done stuff like that. All I'm saying is this: you're entitled to your own opinion, but if you think that man fat, you stupid. That's all I'm saying.
So here's my thing, right? I would be inclined to say, listen, if you think that 50, listen, for starters, 50 is way bigger than what I ever want to be, right?
You used to be that
I
big.
used to, that's what I'm saying. This was funny though, man, because it was some years ago, but probably like right around the time I was about 20, between 24 and 28, right? Yeah, about 28. I think I was probably pushing about 230 about then though. And it was sizable. It was, but then I kind of thought like, all right, you know what? Right when I started getting toward the end of my 20s, I started to try to prepare myself for my 30s. So then that's when I started not lifting as much heavy weights and everything like that. Cause it was all about bulking up though, man. It was all about, and then that was just like, yeah, I had to fall back. But even then, I thought that once you've been buff, right, it's hard to maintain being that big unless you're dedicated to just lifting and maintain. It's hard to maintain that kind of muscle though, bro. Yeah. And so for me, I was just like, yeah, let me just stay toned. So I dropped down 15 pounds, man, and been maintaining that ever since though, bro. But it's and that was when that had to been. That was when I was like 30, bro. Like, so
But that was me. Like you slim.
That was me slimming down. Yeah, that's me slimming down after that picture, though, bro. But listen, though, on the cool, you can see the boy. You can see them things through that boy's shirt. That's the sweater and the button up on that picture, by the way, though. So don't act like it ain't there, bro.
But what I'm saying is, all I'm saying is, you were bigger then, but you weren't fat there. You were you were buff. You were bigger.
I was trying to get yoked then, though, boy. I was like, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like that was light to me. That like I brushed. I don't even like if I was 50, I wouldn't even respond. Like y'all stupid, bro.
Now he responded, and he to his credit, he even reposted all of the things that people, all of those memes, the Bazaar, he reposted them and everything like that. So I do give him pride. Now, with that being said, it wouldn't surprise me if you start to see 50 start to trim down, and whether it's in response to that, I think that it would not surprise me if you say, let me lean up.
It wouldn't surprise me if he came out with a new if that boy 50 was in like some superhero, like if he was in Black Adam or something, trying to
He
be
wasn't. Listen, he wasn't that big as Kanan, bro. He was not that big, bro.
he ain't Kanan no more. Kanan dead. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like,
but
but what I'm saying is, with everything 50 got going on, it would not surprise me at all if he was getting that big for a role. All I'm saying is this: we seen 50 get down to that skinny for that role. The
yeah.
Mario Van Peebles film. So you're not gonna tell me that he wouldn't bulk up like that, especially because he's not fat with it. Like I said, when Buster got that big, Buster was fat. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
then now that Buster's got music and stuff out again, he's back. He's big still, but he's not,
he's cutting it
he
up.
ain't
He's
fat. Yeah.
he cutting
But
it up though, man. Yeah.
you can clearly see 50 ain't got no gut. His arms are defined. Like he looked like he would be preparing to go to WWE instead of AEW.
That is very true. That is a good comparison though, bro, because he out there competing with Roman Reigns now and not
Yeah.
Adam Cole. Yeah, that's the biggest difference.
Yo, man, look, All-Star weekend this weekend, bro. What's up with it?
I'm gonna be honest with you though, bro. I've completely lost interest in the All-Star game in itself.
Even with the new format of them picking up players.
Yeah, that does make it different, right? But people are still
and
not
even
playing.
with the drama with this year, where nobody want to pick up.
I'm more interested in that part of it than the actual game because.
But he ain't even playing though, bro.
Right. But here's the thing: what I am interested in more so. I'm gonna be honest. I am very much interested more so in who gets selected for the All-Star game than the game itself. Because you see all the time where you see players who put up seasons where you think, oh, they deserve an All-Star spot, and then you have the conversation about snubs and stuff like that. So I'm more so interested in that conversation more than the actual game. I'll tell you that I will probably watch the celebrity game and might not even catch. Yeah, so I might catch that, but I probably won't. Even then, every time I watch the celebrity game, I just sit here and think, though, bro, I would hoop them up. Like I would get out there. And I would take them so serious. Go ahead. Chris Brown actually can hoop though, bro. I see that there's this. They have this league. Shout out to the homeboy, Larry Boyd. He plays on the. He plays in this league where it's almost like a celebrity team league, and they pick up players and everything like that. And there's a whole league and everything like that. And my dude, Larry from Colleen, is out there in LA. And he plays out there on that team, though, man. But there are a couple people who I think can actually play that I would really say, all right, I gotta go at them real quick. Like if even if everybody else is playing around, like I know that Quavo can shoot just because and hoop just because there's some cats over here at the park that I hoop at where they stand by everything Migos and some of the people like, oh, I know him, I know his people, I know he can hoop at. Like I would want to play them serious.
Yo, I don't know if it's just his end or my end, but Charles is frozen. So some of the names in the celebrity game that they have listed, we got let's see here. We got Jimmy Allen, Brittany Inna, Machine Gun Kelly, Darisha Hamby, Noah Carlock, and some people I don't know. Matt James.
Is 2 Chainz playing?
I don't see his name yet. I see Quavo on here. Kane Brown is on here. Miles Garrett, Booby Gibson is playing. Tiffany Haddish, Jack Harlow. They got a Harlem Globetrotter, Chrissy Jackson. So yeah, I mean, there's a couple of people on here, but I mean, it still should be entertaining nonetheless. I'm trying to just enjoy the All-Star weekend just like I did Super Bowl weekend. So
yeah, I listen. I think that like I said, I'm gonna. I'm not looking forward to the dunk contest like that. Like I didn't see any. Jack Harlow ain't no real hooper. I saw them. I I saw this thing when it was who was it? It was Jack Harlow. It was a 2-on-2 last year. It was Jack Harlow and somebody versus Lil Baby and 2 Chains. And I think that they won. Jack Harlow's team won, but it wasn't because he did. It was because Lil Baby wasn't good. It was because 2 Chain was just too cool for school. And by default, that was just it though, man.
Yeah.
Which
I mean,
it's funny because I've seen some video of 2 Chain hooping, and he because he played college ball, he could hoop. And so yeah, but I've just never seen him really play like hard. Like, he's real cool about it though, man.
it looks like they're setting up so that the boy Quavo can win the MVP again. That's what it looked like.
He should. I mean, listen, he gonna go out. Listen, bro, I will go out there and get them boys a 20 piece. Like y'all would be like, they'll be like, oh, Charlie Venus, he's taking this serious. I'd be like, you goddamn right. Like, you listen though, bro. Let me be mic'd up at a celebrity all-star game though, bro. It would be brutal, bro.
Yeah. Hey, but our boy Giddy made it in the celebrity all-star weekend. He is actually going to be in the skills challenge, and he's also in the rookie and sophomore game. So he been killing it, bro, for the Thunder. He been on the triple dubs like super hard. So shout out to the boy Giddy, bro.
All-star game. Let's get to it because James Harden was selected, but he is not playing. And we gotta talk about this right here.
Right now.
Ace Kennedy. Now listen, I'm gonna tell you, bro. Okay. Biggest of the All-Star break. All right, biggest thing was James Harden gets traded for, at the end of the day, Ben Simmons, Seth Rollins, Andre Drummond, right? Seth Rollins. Seth Curry. Did I call that boy? I can't believe I called that boy Seth Rollins.
Seth freaking Rollins got traded.
The AEW WWE thing was still fresh on my mind. But listen, so Ace Kennedy, that's almost taking away my seriousness almost on this one. So listen though, Ace. So this is the crazy thing. So this trade happens, and after a while, there become these rumblings, right? Of this in between the lines thing, right? That I tell you, I always read in between the lines, right? Of when somebody's potentially going to get traded. So, or they're trying to make a statement, right? So Russ, the rumor before this that was similar was that Russ, they're trying to go ahead and get Russ out. They're trying to get Russ out. And there were potential suitors and all this other stuff. But Russ, because of the trade rumors, Russ goes and sits out a game and says, hey, I got some back tightness or whatever. So Russ didn't play, right? And so when they didn't play, then the logic, according to all the people who hate on Russ, was that, hey, you know what? Russ didn't play. We can go ahead and bust this open and we can see what's happening. And they go out there and they get whooped by a bunch of G League players from the Portland Trailblazers, right? But reading in between the line, right? In between the lines, how Charles Venus interprets that is that y'all want to trade me, I'm going to go ahead and show y'all what's up. I don't think that anything was wrong with Russ. I don't think he had any back. As hard as Russ plays, for him to miss a game because of back stiffness, back soreness, nah. He could have did that 1,000 times already.
You ain't hear the jab that he said? He said he had back stiffness because he's not used to sitting out that long when they put him out in the fourth quarter.
There you go. Right. There you go. Right. It's a jab back. It's so okay. So fast forward, James Harden. We're back on James Harden, right? So James Harden had been sitting out a few games. Tight hamstring is what he said. His hamstrings is tight, right? So, Ace Kennedy, my issue.
You got to give the whole story.
Give it to me.
And he was getting MRIs done, and according to Brooklyn staff, they didn't see any reason why that like the tightness was there. Like,
nothing aggravated at all.
Exactly.
No aggravations at all. But so then it becomes this conspiracy theory, right, about James Harden that, okay, now he is trying to get traded, right? And then there started to be the reports after he's sitting down that basically there was this theory that no, James Harden never wanted to go to Brooklyn. The goal was for him to always end up in Philly. Brooklyn was just a pit stop on the way. In the same way how he showed up to the Rockets and he was out of shape, the same way how he was coming there late. He would show up to sometimes at halftime, they said, to games. It's almost being not almost, but being a disruption, but also talking to the media. He was like, yeah, there's nothing for me here to do. That's just basically it. Now, Ace Kennedy, this man, you have on this show said, no, Charlie, you just a James Harden hater. And I've warned that, right? But this man has also played with Dwight Howard in his prime still. He's played with and ran Dwight Howard out. He didn't work well with CP3, Hall of Fame. You see what CP got? You see what CP got the Suns looking like, right? He then plays with Russ. Asked to get Russ, right? Asked to get Russ. He gets Russ out there, and then he basically runs Russ out as well. And these are all people who have butted heads with him directly, right? So after you've ran everybody out of there, oh, he had Melo there too. Forgot about that. He had Melo there as well, right? He wanted Melo there as well. So then after you've ran these people out of there, he said, yeah, we can't do nothing. So then he forces his way out. And then they basically say, all right, well, we're going to pick him on up at Brooklyn, KD, Kyrie. They basically trying to do their thing. And the whole idea was that all of them were saying, hey, we are willing to sacrifice to win this ring.
And the fifth person, he ain't want no parts of John Wall.
Didn't want no. I can listen. I'm not. Listen, man. The Wizards love them some John Wall, and DC loves them some John Wall. Probably the same way Houston loved them some James Harden, right? Like that's just from having gone to DC a lot. I can tell you that they love them some John Wall. It's just after a while it wasn't working. He was just too injured, right? But Ace, to me, I think, bro, that I've always said this. Like to me, when I always put people on list, right? And you always say, don't nobody care about the list. And I'm like, listen, when people are having the conversations about all-time players, that won't be forgotten. That he got these people there and ran them all off. The same way how now, right? When they lost to the Lakers, and when he basically said, yeah, we ain't got enough to win. To me, he didn't have to say it. He basically says, yes, we don't got enough. We haven't been able to put together enough to beat the Lakers, basically. Not with LeBron on over here. So I'm getting out of the West because LeBron's over here. So he goes out there to Brooklyn, and I understand, right, that he says, hey, you know what? We all are going to sacrifice. Then Kyrie X factors it. Says, I'm not getting vaccinated, right? Kyrie said, I'm not now. And unpredictable, Kyrie. And I can kind of understand if James Harden says, hey, man, I signed up for all of us to be all in.
Right.
He's not all in if he didn't get vaccinated. When we got vaccinated, to make sure that we can go ahead and win this ring. Now, Ace Kennedy, Kyrie, KD, James Harden, that's to most people a guarantee walk in the park to the finals. Should be a slam dunk to win a to win a championship, right? And to me, it blows me away when he's talking about, I've never been a free agent before. Like I might test free agent. He's saying this in the beginning of the season. And I think that's when he started planting that seed that he wasn't coming back, right? So the thing that got me the most about James Harden is that, all right, well, you know what? You came there, right? And you really weren't trying to, you really wasn't planning to stay there long term. So then there was this, he doesn't really like playing in Brooklyn. He don't like living in Brooklyn, right? To me, that meant the strippers don't quite move like the ones in Houston do. I heard Philadelphia got some top-notch clubs out there, bro. So Ace, getting the part that I'm mad about when it comes to him, it looks like anytime it gets difficult, he bails out, bro. He's a runner. Like he goes out to Brooklyn, and the minute that it's not ideal, in the minute that he actually sees that, oh, okay, we're not going to win the championship, right? I'm rolling. He rolled out. He quit on them. He quit on Houston. So now he goes out to Philly. He was dying to get to Philly, right? He goes out there. My question is, if Joel Embiid was not playing the way that he's playing right now, would he have still gone to Philly? Right? That would be my question number one. I'm inclined to believe, bro, that he'll stay in Philly for maybe 2 years. Right? If they don't win a championship, I think he's going to roll in. He's going to leave them boys at the altar because I think that, bro, he's a quitter to me, and he's the kind of person, the kind of basketball player that I like despise. Like, it's one thing that you've had people who, when they got to a point in their careers, because people always try to compare this to LeBron James, right? And LeBron leaving to Miami. But I think that when you have somebody who says, no, I'm trying to find an easy route, the easiest team. Like, bro, that makes me so mad that I was like, there was something about him that that just drove me crazy, bro. And this was over the top of me. I'm all the way off Jay. I don't want to hear nothing about his points, his shooting, nothing, bro. You can't tell me that he's a quitter to me, though, bro.
So what happens if he wins this year?
It doesn't matter to me, bro.
So hold on, I'm talking about is if he wins, does his championship look as fake as KD's first one?
Ooh, that's a good question. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you though, bro. If you hold that against KD, then you have to hold that against him. Yes.
I don't see that, because here's the thing. The difference, for one, so everything you said was true. Oh man, you had a song called something about
and this is all true.
Yeah. So, and I was, yeah. Anyway, all I'm saying is this. Everything that you said there was true. But I will give him some wiggle room with the Philly to Brooklyn trade, because that was the destination he wanted to go to in the beginning. And so if you go to Brooklyn and you went there with the intent of playing with KD and Kyrie, and it's not happening, then this is what I came here for. And I didn't get that. It would be like if you went to a job, you were promised something, and then when you got to the job, you didn't get it. I wouldn't have an issue with you rolling out. And so my thing is, the difference is KD left a team that he could have beat. He left a team that he could have beat, but they beat him and he went and joined them. That is always
I can see that. This isn't so to me. This is the thing about it. I think that what James Harden to me did is different from KD, but it's just as bad if you want to look at what KD did. Because here's the thing about it. So the thing that got it to me, the only caveat that you can give to KD is that he went there on his own free will as a free agent, right?
Yeah.
So the thing that got me the most with James Harden, right? And here's the thing about it. To your point, though, right? KD them could have beat them, right? Could have, right? I think that what KD decided is that I can't win. I can't beat that team with Russ, and they're never going to let Russ go, because Sam Presti and them thinks Russ is just as good as KD, right? So that's what I think that was the difference with KD. The reason why I think that James Harden's thing is a different, just as bad, it's a different animal, and would deserve the same kind of asterisk, is that I do think that Houston was active. So it's Houston, right? It's not like Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City is a small market team, so you have to be very strategic on building a team, because people don't just go there as free agents, right? It very rarely happens that a free agent just goes to a small market team. You got to have to draft those guys, groom them, get your own guys and everything like that. So to me, there was never going to be a change that was going to come to Oklahoma City that I think would have satisfied KD getting over Russ, because they were so good as a small market team that they were never going to be able to draft another guy, another superstar player, right? At least in Houston is a big enough market to where you would have guys. They were trying to get guys to come there, and they were changing it up every 3 years for James Harden. And I think that what makes it bad is that, to me, they were looking at it's almost like how I tell you about Paul George, right? Like, they're looking at James Harden. James Harden's like, yeah, we ain't got enough. And Houston's looking at him like, bro, we've been building around you because we thought you was enough. We can get you some other guys, but we thought that you was enough. And what makes it bad that he quit on them? Well, let me say this. I'm gonna hand it over to you. But what makes it bad to me is that he forced his way out of Houston. You and I say all the time that we think players should do whatever they can, whatever the power they have. I get that. But you forced your way. It's almost like, to me, what makes his almost worse, it would be like if KD forced his way to the Warriors, right? If in the middle of the season, KD quit on his team and forced Oklahoma City to trade him to the Thunder, that's what makes James Harden's worse to me. Right. And then not just that, then it would be like if KD then got to the Warriors, they didn't win or something happens, and he said, now get me on out of here too. That's why I think that James Harden's is worse.
See, this is why I don't think James Harden's is worse. Because the reason teams are doing what they're doing now, trading players when they want to be traded, when their contract is coming due or they're going to be free agents and stuff soon, is because of KD, because the Thunder lost KD for nothing. Okay.
Facts.
So if you're Brooklyn, you have to move James Harden if he says, I'm not going to re-sign and I'm no longer want to be here. You have to move him, especially when you. So that, to me, I give him props because he could have just not said nothing and left for nothing.
Let me tell you that it's funny you say that. It's funny you say that because, again, this goes back to when I tell you that in the grand scheme of the history of these lists that I always put people on, why it matters. Because there was a report that came out that says he wants to get traded. He does not want to be there, but he won't say it. He won't come out and say it because he knows that there's going to be backlash. So my thing is that when people say they don't care about those lists, you do care, because in the grand scheme, you're going to be judged by the people that matter.
I don't care.
No. I'm talking about
right, but I'm saying players. I don't care. So
no. Players like KD, right? So players like KD make it seem like, oh, the media talking about these all-time lists and all-time players in the comparisons, like they don't care about that, right? KD, let KD tell it. He would probably say that he don't care that people think that his 2 rings got asterisks by him. But at the end of the day, it might not matter to him right now. But at the end of his career, right, when you look forward down that road, and when people start to put together these all-time lists and you're no longer playing and they're bypassing you for other players who took the harder route to get rings, it's going to matter. It's going to matter to me. It's going to matter that people look at Giannis's rings and think that's more impressive.
Well, the thing is this, though, right? With KD, we knew that it bothered KD because he wouldn't have had the burner accounts if it didn't.
Facts.
But this is what always is crazy to me when people say that KD couldn't win with Russ. This is what's interesting to me. So at the height of the Thunder, when they were beating a 73-9 team 3-1 to advance to the finals, and they didn't get it done, that wasn't on Russ. That game, it was on Kevin Durant. So you blew the chance to go to the finals, and then you left and went to the 73-9 team that you and Russ had down 3-1. But you can't win with Russ. But y'all had the 73-9 team down 3-1, and you left.
Hey, so I'm gonna be honest with you. I listen. I am a big Russ fan. Big Russ fan, not as big of a Russ fan as you are, right? I am also one of those people who felt like that they would never win it together.
Charles,
just how I felt.
But I understand that, but you also said that, but well before they made it to that point.
That's right. I've always maintained.
You always said it. I've always said them up. I understand.
I've always thought that. Right. I've always thought that. Put like this. Here's why I think this is how much of a difference I think that it is to me. I think that if you have Chris Paul in place of Russ on that exact same team, that they win the championship. Doesn't matter who they play against.
Listen, I'm not disagreeing with you, but here's the thing, though, Charles. With Russell Westbrook, they had Golden State down 3-1. What I'm saying is KD missed critical shots in that last game that could have advanced them to play the Cavaliers.
I agree. I
because
agree with you.
here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. In that particular year, Oklahoma City could have beat the Cavs. Obviously, the Cavs could beat Golden State. But Golden State, so they messed up the equation. If Oklahoma City would have made it to the finals that year, that would have been the year that they beat the Cavaliers.
Do you
Because
think they could have beat the Cavs?
Charles, I am telling you with this, I am not, there's not a bit of fake, a bit of capping. Like, I'm telling you, if Oklahoma City would have made it to the finals that year, the year that they had the 73-9 Golden State Warriors down 3-1, they would have beat the Cavaliers, because KD was not. KD was that KD. Think about it, right? This is the KD. This is the season before KD went to Golden State, where he's the Finals MVP. This was a different KD. This wasn't the same KD that played.
Go ahead.
This is not the same KD that played LeBron James's Miami Heat in the finals, where he was scared of LeBron. He was not scared of LeBron at that, because think about it. He's just a year removed from being from being the Finals MVP 2 years in a row in Golden State. So you can't tell me that if he would have had LeBron in the finals at that year, they would not have beaten. They would have beat the Cavaliers.
I think, Ace, here's the thing about it. I'm going to be honest with you, bro. Even though KD won the MVP before he went to Golden State, I don't think that he was KD the killer until he got to Golden State.
No. You did not say what I said. What I'm
no.
saying,
I get what you're saying. I get that. I get what you're saying. But I'm saying the reason why that matters, right, is because he had won the MVP before he went to the Cavs. That same year.
That's why I'm saying you're not saying. That's why I'm saying you're not saying what I'm saying. What
right?
I'm
No.
saying.
KD the Hooper. I'm saying KD the Hooper and all the credentials. The year that they beat that said that they had them at 3-1. Whoever that KD was and all that he accomplished, to me, was a different guy from the guy that was with the Warriors.
Charles, listen to what I'm saying. The Kevin Durant that went to Golden State Warriors is the same KD that was there for the finals. That was just a year later.
I know that.
Let me explain my point. The difference is this. When he was in Oklahoma City, he was getting doubled and triple teamed because the only other person for him to pass it to was Russell Westbrook. When he went to Golden State, he wasn't tripled and double teamed, because what you gonna do? Leave Clay open? You gonna leave Steph open? So he had more open shots. So you can't tell me that wasn't the same dude. That's not true. He was in Oklahoma City in this year, and then turn around the next year, he's the Finals MVP, and you trying to tell me?
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like, to me, listen, I look at it like this, though, bro. So this is the way I look at it, man. So
tell me what magically changed in that summer. Tell me what magically changed.
And I'm going to tell you exactly what. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you what the comparison is to me, right? So the comparison to me is like, all right, you know what? LeBron James, right? LeBron James was out there at the Cavs, and this was still LeBron James, right? He's LeBron James, the best. I think even then at Cleveland, right before he left to Cleveland, was the best player in the league, right? When he was before he left Cleveland, right there. But then once he went to Miami, it was a different LeBron. Like, he went another level. And listen, and listen. And this is the thing about it. Even though he had other players, he had better players around him. I think that the better players around him allowed him to be more of the good player he was. So what I'm saying, the reason why I think that KD went next level is I think that he did that because he played with better players. That I get that you're right on him not getting double teamed, because what you gonna do? You gonna leave Steph open? You gonna leave Clay? I get all of that. But I'm just saying that he played better. So mentally, he was better mentally.
Charles, obviously, you're going to play better if you're open more. That's simple. That's exactly what I just said. So to me, That doesn't mean he became a different person because he got more open. That just means he got more shots because he was open. So what I'm saying is the same Kevin Durant that had the Golden State Warriors down 3-1 is the same Kevin Durant that won the Finals MVP the next year.
I don't think
because
it
he had
was.
more options to do that.
I agree. I do. Listen.
Charles,
I
tell me-
understand.
tell
I
me-
understand what you're saying. Let me just say that I understand what you're saying. I just disagree with it to a degree. And the reason why I say
And the
that is
same
because
thing with your same thing with your LeBron James analogy, because him and Booby and Mo whatever Mo who Ilgauskas versus D Wade and the Raptor, are you there- like there's no
no. So
there's
this
no
is what I'm saying. When you say that, this is what I mean. When I say that he was different, I'm saying that KD averaged about the same number of points, right, that he did before, right? I think that what I think made KD different is that his 27 points that he averaged with the Warriors were a different 27 points than what he averaged with the Warriors. They were different. And I think it's the same with LeBron. LeBron went, and when he went to Miami, while playing with better players, yeah, all of his statistical numbers went up. But what I'm saying is that the impact of the numbers were different to me. Like it to me, right? I think that KD, when he got to the Warriors, felt more. I think that it was a more confident KD, right? I think that he was a more efficient KD because while he's averaging, it's like now KD can go out there and drop 27 points and take 15 shots. He could do that sometimes when he was with Oklahoma, but that's the expectation now. I think that's, to me, that was when he, as a basketball player, I know that you said that was the same guy, but I think to me in 6 months, he went next level to me.
But but obviously he's gonna go next level though, Charles, when the floor is clear. This is what I'm saying. So Deuce would come off his school season, right? Playing with the team that's presented. And you would see the highlight videos and you would see Deuce get the shots he gets, but it's a little harder for him because most teams would figure out that's the shooter, right? But when he would play AAU ball with people that are equal or greater talent on his same squad, the floor becomes more wide open for him to get these shots off, and he looks even better because of the fact the talent around him is better. So all I'm saying is, yes, there were better players in Golden State. They were 73-9. And now you add KD and he's able to get his shots off more.
Doesn't that, but this goes back to the point that I made to you years ago when we talked about this, though, right? Mm-hmm. Doesn't that justify, though, him going there? When he actually got the ring, listen, when he said, I'm playing against better players so I can be more effective as a hooper and I can get the ring, and he goes there and does all of those things.
Charles,
to me, it justifies.
It's not about the move. It's about how he moved. That's what it is for me.
I agree with that.
And so this is what I'm saying. And I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I 100% believe that players should be allowed to do whatever they want to do when they want to do it, because if a team, exactly what happened to Ingles, my dude was hurt. He loved the team. He'd been there for 8 years. He's hurt and finds out he gets traded. Same with my boy that ended up coming to Oklahoma. He was with Boston. Kendrick Perkins was sitting at the house and found out he was traded on SportsCenter. Like, that to me is crap. So if Kevin Durant felt like, hey, I want to go to Golden State, it has nothing to do with that. His contract was done. He did everything he was supposed to do. The problem is, if you was going to leave, why you ain't holler at Russ? Why you just didn't tell him? You ain't tell him. You could have easily said, yo, look, Russ, bro, I appreciate everything we did together. We boys, we brothers, but I'm taking my talents to Golden State. You ain't do that. So it's not about the move. It's about how he moved.
So listen, so here's what's funny. I don't think James Harden them just told KD them that either. I don't think that James Harden just came out and said, KD, this ain't working. I got to roll. I think that he just let it happen. I think that he did these backdoor kind of leaks and everything like that, but I don't think that he did. So KD, so what they say is that KD then went and said, he's quitting.
Time out.
Let's get him out of here.
Bro, you and I have Bleacher Report, and you know that the reports came out that James Harden was yelling that he wanted to be traded. So don't tell me that KD and them didn't know he wanted to be traded.
I
That's
don't think
different.
so.
That's different.
I don't
What do
listen.
you mean you don't think so? Wait. Time out. So it's reported. It's reported, and you don't believe it. But
I didn't see that it was ever reported. I never saw that in Bleacher Report.
Clearly on Bleacher Report, it says James Harden is yelling in every direction that he wants to be traded. And then your report came out where he said he doesn't want to come out and say it because he don't want the backlash. All of that was in the same stuff.
No. Listen, I'm going to tell you this. I can only tell you this. I've never seen a report where James Harden came out the way he did with the Rockets and said, I want to be traded. Never seen it at all. You got me over here trying to go through.
I ain't talking about the Rockets. I'm talking about
No. When he came with the Rockets, he told the Rockets in the media,
right,
specifically said, I want to be traded. From what I've seen, I've never read where he came out to the media and said, I want to be traded, and told his team that he want to be traded. I've never heard that.
I didn't say he told the media. The question you said that you didn't believe that he told KD and Kyrie and stuff that he wanted to be traded. And in the reports from Bleacher Report, it said that he said he was screaming everywhere that I want to be traded. That's in the Bleacher Report.
No, I never heard that. Never heard that.
And matter of fact, and if you don't believe me, I can even pull up the report because what's his name? What's your boy name? Undisputed. Skip them. They talked about that report on Undisputed.
No, I never heard that.
Okay, well, it's there. Like I said, when we get off the pod, I'll find it and send it to you, brother. Because it's there.
Send it to me. Yeah, you gotta send that to me for me.
Matter of fact, but yeah, let me just go and pull it up right now because I know it's there. But yeah, all I'm saying is this: it's not about the move for me. It's about how he moved.
Listen, if that's the case, though, then you should be disgusted with how James Harden said it, bro. Like, that's the thing about how he moved. Like, he literally quit on two teams in the middle of the season, bro. One of them in the middle of the season, one to start the season, bro. So it's like, come on, bro. Like, if KD's was bad, this got to be just as bad.
But this is why it's not that bad to me, because this again, I'm being consistent. It's the fact that he said that I particularly came here to play with these two individuals. I'm sending you the report right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at something here that he says. Okay, it says
James
Harden talks leaving Houston. And he says we can control our own destiny. I need to be around guys that I know want to win and are willing to do whatever it takes to win. Little sub at Kyrie. I can see that.
No. Read the report that I sent you.
Let me see something here, bro.
But anyway, Shay and Skip talked about it on there where he was talking about he was screaming everywhere that he wanted to be traded. So it was known on the 4th of July when I had on my Kevin Durant's that day, we found out that KD left. Russ didn't know about it. I had to go change my shoes that day because it happened. Everybody knew James Harden was doing whatever. So yeah,
that man. Nah, I get that they said that he's. I'm looking at this now though, man. And listen, if this is all true, that's one thing. I can listen. This dude. So I don't know, bro. I don't know, Ace. He says I can tell you. He says, I can tell you how much James Harden wants this. It says his actions over the last 10 days are basically a threat to the Nets. It says, screaming in every way as he possibly can. I don't want to be here. Get me out of here.
But here's the thing, though, Charles. What I'm saying is before James Harden got traded, did anybody think he was going to be in Brooklyn the rest of the year?
No, I thought that he would be there through next year at the end of his contract. And then I thought that he would basically go ahead.
Once these reports started coming out that he wanted to be traded, the closer it got to the trade deadline, you really thought that James was going to stay in the Nets the rest of the time?
No. Listen, after I saw how he quit on the Rockets, I knew he wasn't going to stay. I
Okay.
knew he was going to quit on
Okay,
them.
so all I'm saying is, you knew that he was going to get traded because of the reports leaking that it was going to happen. What I'm
Yes.
saying is, Kevin Durant, nobody knew until it happened. That's what I'm saying.
I can understand that though, right? But I think that the big thing is that I think to me the biggest difference, right, is that when this man, so he was all in the media and he was doing interviews saying he wanted to be traded. It wasn't no cameras around, or it's just no, I'm gonna say this over here in the back of the gym so people can hear me, but I'm not gonna say it in the interview. That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
if you
I
want,
get that, but I mean, but that
he's a
part
snake,
doesn't
bro.
bother
Yeah.
me though,
If
man.
you think KD is Serpentor, then he is somewhere next to it though, bro. Like he's
Listen,
right there.
he's still you're right. It's still bad. But what I'm saying, the difference, and because like I told you in the beginning, right? There's nothing wrong with anything that you said leading up to the whole Brooklyn trade. My thing is once you get to Brooklyn, if you plan to play with these individuals and that's no longer happening, then I don't have an issue with him leaving.
I don't know. It to me, like I said, to me, he just looks like I can understand, bro. I think that the homeboy is basically looking at his basketball mortality, and he has basically said that I've done all of these things in basketball, and I've never been close to getting to a ring, right?
Okay.
And I think that the biggest thing is that he's conceded twice now to being a number 2 guy, right? And to me, that already bumps him down to effective role player. Like this, he is somewhere where, to me, it's like in the all-time list.
Yeah.
It's almost where I think that people kind of degrade Klay Thomas, right? Klay Thompson, because he's kind of looked at as like, even when they won those rings, he was the number 2 guy on the first one. But when KD got there, he was like the number 3 guy, right? But he still did his thing. But to me, that was his position to be the 2 guy. James Harden was looked at as the number 1. And when he left, to me, that's conceding, said, I'm not the guy that y'all thought I was. I'm just a guy that's going to help us win the championship, but I'm not the main guy.
Okay, let me ask you this last question, because we could talk about all of this. We just got to bring this to Tuesday. But let me ask you this. Does KD feel the way Russ felt when KD left? So Russ felt betrayed, and that became a rival. Does KD feel that way about James Harden?
He has to. And listen, I'm going to tell you this. You'll know the next time they play against each other.
Yeah, because I think that's the game Ben Simmons is planning to come back, is when they play Philly.
Yeah, I think to me, right, it's less about Ben Simmons versus James Harden as it is to me now about KD and James Harden.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but then here's the thing about it though, right? To me, even that is a minor blip, because you can't. There's no, to me, the way I look at it though, bro, is I wouldn't even say it's a James Harden versus KD, because when the billing is out, James Harden has already conceded to where he's not a number 1 guy. So to me, it's KD versus Joel Embiid. I don't even want to hear, but I don't even want to put James Harden in the same level of conversation with KD unless we're talking about him leaving KD. Like he's not on that level to me. Though,
okay,
bro.
so now to follow up to the question I asked you earlier, and then we'll leave with this. KD left in the fashion that he left, and he won, right? So if James, the way he left, and then 76ers end up winning, is it justified? If you saying KD's is justified, it's not justified.
I'm going to tell you, okay, as much as I hate him, bro, the only way he can justify it, right? He's going to have to do a lot to justify it. And I'm going to tell you what he's going to have to do to justify it. He's going to have to win Finals MVP to justify it. Because when KD went there, KD was clearly the guy that put them over the top. Mm-hmm. So you got to be the guy that puts them over the top the entire way through the playoffs. All right. So none of this disappearing act you've been doing in Houston, right, for years. You got to go there and for the entirety of the playoffs, average 30 points. And then for the entirety of the finals, You need to average that 30, that 35 that you average that season. You need to be the finals MVP. The reason why, if not, all you did was just ride somebody else's coattail there, bro. That's how I look at him. It's justified, yeah, that he gets a ring. But to me, in that grand scheme of the list, how he does it is going to matter. And so to me, it's like, it's why I think that when people say, oh yeah, when Giannis, when they won, you know, a lot of the top stars were injured, but it still didn't matter that Giannis closed out that finals game with a 50-point, you know, game, and he still averaged like 30 some points a game. Like, he was clearly the best player. And so I look at that, like, he can't just be a guy, right? Horace Grant was a guy, right? But you got to be the reason, and then that justifies it to me.
Yeah. Well, good, man. Great show. Thank y'all for hanging out with you boys. It's us back in the saddle, and yo, hopefully we can maintain. Hopefully life won't catch us again, but you know, hey, we appreciate y'all for rocking with us. Have an incredible weekend. We are the Slash Brothers. That's Charlie Venus. I'm Ace Kennedy, and we outro.
It doesn't. It don't. It doesn't matter what your name is.
The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast.
Can you dig
of
it,
all time.
sucker?